All right, let's dive right in. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going on a bit of a treasure hunt to uncover the real estate secrets of Horry County, South Carolina. Honestly, whether you're a prospective home buyer trying to make a really smart investment, a homeowner just checking on your own files, or a researcher digging into local history, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to transform you into a full-blown property investigator today, and we'll equip you with the exact knowledge you need to navigate the county's digital databases. And the best part? We're doing it completely free of charge.
So, I want you to ask yourself for a second, what is the hidden history of your property? Every single piece of land has a story. It has a chain of title and a financial footprint. But usually, this kind of information feels locked away behind closed government doors, or worse, really expensive third-party paywalls. Well, not today. Today, we're handing you the keys. We're going to bypass the middlemen entirely and go straight to the official county sources. This is going to save you a ton of time, frustration, and most importantly, money.
And hey, speaking of money, let's put this into perspective so you understand exactly why learning this online method is such a big deal. If you were to just walk into a county office today and file a standard Freedom of Information Act or FOIA request for general county records, you could be hit with a massive labor charge. We're talking $25 per hour just for the staff's time, plus an extra 15 cents for every single page they print out. That adds up so fast. But by using the Register of Deeds online index that we're going over today, you completely bypass that whole FOIA process and access these exact same vital documents for free. No way I'm paying those fees if I don't have to, right?
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with number 1, why property records matter. Then 2, setting up your access. 3, the property search workflow. 4, decoding official records. And finally, number 5, pro tips and troubleshooting.
Okay, starting off with section 1, why property records matter.
The practical applications of getting your hands on this data are honestly massive. Let's say you're researching a purchase. Well, you want to know exactly what you're buying, right? That includes any hidden easements or restrictions. You also really need to verify if there are any involuntary tax liens on the property. You definitely don't want someone else's unpaid taxes becoming your massive headache later on. And beyond just the financials, these records let you uncover the historical chain of title. You can literally see every single time the property changed hands, which is just an absolute goldmine if you're into genealogical research or local history.
Moving right along to section 2, setting up your access. Okay, so you need to take note of this specific security update. On March 16, 2026, Horry County instituted a pretty major change to their system. They started requiring a free user login to access any online platform that displays detailed property address information. Now, I know making an account can be a pain, but this wasn't done just to annoy us. It was actually a super necessary step to protect the county's public data assets and stop those automated web scraping bots from completely overwhelming the servers. So yes, you will need to take a minute and create an account on the county portal to get your VIP pass. And when you go to register that account, they do have some strict password requirements just to keep everything locked down. You're going to need a minimum of 8 characters. And here's the catch. You have to include 3 of the following 4 things: an uppercase letter, a lowercase letter, a number, or a special character. I know, it's a tiny hoop to jump through, but honestly, knowing this right out of the gate means you won't get stuck and frustrated during setup. Plus, let's be real, it is still way easier than waiting in line at the county office.
All right, now for the fun part. Section 3, the property search workflow.
Now, I really want you to think of this workflow almost like a giant puzzle. Because the different county databases are indexed by totally different criteria, you can't just go and type an address into one magical search bar and get the whole shebang. It doesn't work like that. Finding one piece of data unlocks the next database. So step 1 is using the Land Records app to get the property's PIN. Step 2 is taking that PIN into a claim web to find the actual legal deeds. And finally, step 3 is checking the treasurer's portal for the tax status. Let's break these down step by step.
So, step 1 starts over at the Horry County Land Records application. You'll log in with that brand new free account you just made. And right here is where you can simply type in the physical street address of the property. Once the parcel pops up on your screen, you are looking for 2 absolutely crucial pieces of information: the current owner's name and the 10-digit property identification number, which is usually just called the PIN. Write those down, copy them, whatever you got to do, because those 2 things are your keys to unlocking the next system.
Which brings us right to step 2, utilizing the Register of Deeds, a claim web portal. Now, in this interface, you actually cannot search by a physical street address at all. But because you successfully did step 1, you can use the name search function to look up the owner, or you can use the other fields to search by that 10-digit PIN you just wrote down. And let me tell you, this database is incredible. The index covers property documents filed in the county all the way back to 1984.
Actually, wait, before you can search a claim web, you are going to hit a login screen. And there is a huge detail here you cannot miss. You enter your details in the lower left, sure, but you absolutely must check the little box next to Accept Disclaimer before you click Login. It's a tiny little thing, but if you don't check that mandatory disclaimer box, the system literally will not let you in, so keep an eye out for that.
Okay, and finally, step 3. You're going to take that exact same PIN and head on over to the Treasurer's Tax Search Portal. Here, you'll select Real Estate as your search type and just punch that PIN right in. Boom! This will instantly pull up the current tax status and the payment history for the property. And there's a really fascinating rule you should know here. If there are delinquent taxes owed on a piece of property, Horry County dictates that any payments made must always be applied to the oldest tax year first. Kind of interesting, right?
Let's move into Section 4, Decoding the Official Records.
So Horry County actually does something pretty brilliant here with how they divide their data. As you've seen, we just used 3 completely distinct tools, and each one serves a very unique, specific purpose. The GIS and land records apps, those give you the physical boundaries, the zoning info, and those great visual maps. Then you have a claim web, which is essentially your legal library holding the actual recorded deeds, mortgages, and plats. And finally, the Treasurer's Portal handles all the money, showing you tax status and financial liens. Honestly, understanding how this division of labor works is the mark of a true property investigator.
And that brings us to Section 5, Pro Tips and Troubleshooting.
First off, I just want to give you a quick reminder of the massive value you're getting by doing this yourself. Remember, general FOIA requests cost you hourly labor and per-page fees. But navigating the Register of Deeds online index, just exactly like we learned today, is completely free. Yes, you are doing the labor yourself, but you get to do it sitting on your couch in your pajamas.
Now this next one is a literal game changer. Take a look at the Recording Notification Service, or RNS. This is a totally free fraud alert tool provided by the Register of Deeds. Here's how it works. You just put in your email address and the name you want to monitor, so like your own name or maybe your business name. If any document is ever recorded in Horry County under that identity, the system automatically shoots you an email alert. It is an absolutely amazing, proactive way to protect your property rights against deed fraud. You should definitely sign up for this.
Now, if you run into any technical hiccups along the way, definitely check these common fixes first. The county's GIS platforms require supported browsers, so you need to be using modern versions of Chrome, Firefox, or Safari. For the Acclaim Web Deed Portal, you absolutely must have browser cookies enabled in your settings, or the page will simply refuse to load. And hey, if you're doing a really deep historical search and a deed seems to be missing from the digital index, don't panic. Just pick up the phone. You can always contact the Register of Deeds office directly at 843-915-5430, and they can help you out.
Before we wrap this all up, I do need to give a quick professional disclaimer. All the information provided in this explainer is for educational purposes only. Keep in mind that the county's digital maps are for taxing purposes. They are not for official legal survey purposes. So while you are now totally empowered to do your own amazing research, please remember to always seek professional advice from licensed surveyors, attorneys, or title companies when it comes to official legal matters or any property disputes.
So I leave you with this. What will you discover about your piece of Horry County? We've given you the roadmap, we've handed you the keys to the databases, and shared all the insider tips to navigate them smoothly. I highly encourage you to open up these portals today and start exploring on your own. If you found any of the workflows a bit tricky, no worries at all, just jump back and rewatch those sections of this explainer. And hey, if this content was helpful to you, please hit that subscribe button, share this with a friend, and let us know down in the comments what secrets you ended up uncovering. Happy researching, and we will see you in the next explainer.